So I wanted to talk about victory medals in general and kind of go over what they are, explain kind of the history of the cards, why I've kind of invested just a decent amount into them, where I think they're going to go and whatnot. So to kind of start off, I just want to show like the three different eras that you're going to find of victory medals if you're looking online. The first like notable one is going to be the left, which is around 2005 to 2007. This is the original line of victory medals. So they have like this very simple artwork of Pikachu just next to this coin. So after this era, we go to the one in the middle, which is the Diamond and Pearl to Platinum era. I think that's what it pretty much stood for. The DPT-P era of Pokemon promos. And then after that, we have the era on the right, which is the L-P. And if you want to kind of use like the games for a reference to figure out what eras we're talking about, the left is pretty much more or less, I would say Ruby and Sapphire to early Diamond and Pearl were the left. Then this is late Diamond and Pearl to Platinum. And then on the right, it's going to be your Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Just like, in terms of like reference of how old these cards are too, like these are pretty old eras of Pokemon now. This is like 10 years old. These on the right are, I think, 15 years old. And this is like a little over 10. Actually, I think these are all over 10. This might be like 12. So these are older cards. And, you hear me mention the name Victory Medal, and you're probably still wondering what that is. And so the whole idea was that in order to kind of give a prize, like they wanted to incentivize people to participate in the card game at local card shops and also give the card shops something to give out. So they had this program where starting in 2005, shops could partner with the Pokemon Company, host events, and then, based off of the people winning the event and participation, they would be awarded these medals. So I mentioned this in another video that trophy cards in like right now in the current market are quite literally untouchable for average consumers. We're not talking about a couple $100, even to a couple thousand. We're talking about most of these, of the more significant trophy cards being priced, $10,000 and up. And as you go further back in the eras, we're talking about like closer to the six-figure range for cards. And as people kind of get priced out of that, I think a lot of that traction and people become familiar with what a trophy card is, you'll have more eyes looking at the victory medals because you quite literally just can't afford or find, for the most part, a lot of these cards because they're either too expensive or they're in the hands of like consumers or collectors that have no intention to sell. So in that respect, you just those become untouchable, but you're still interested in purchasing cards that, have significance or show like participation or legacy within the Pokemon trading card game. So that's where a lot of these cards come in. And for reference too, if you think about how rare the cards that are on this table are, like the price is still pretty fair for the most part. Actually, I'll take this time to kind of go through what cards we have here. So right here, we just have a 2007 gold Pikachu medal. This one's super simple. As I mentioned, this is the first artwork that they did for the victory medal. I don't know how to pronounce the artist. I've always just said it as Takumi. But you can see on the bottom right there has the Black Star promo and the copyright from 2007. So this Takumi artwork is the basis for what victory medals became. Just really simple. Not the biggest fan. It's quite literally just Pikachu. And then they kind of just imposed a medal that has like a hollow foil on it. I'm not sure if you could tell. But yeah, that was really where it started. This was the original era. And you'll see that there's also a silver version. This is the silver version from 2006. And as I mentioned, these ran from 2005 to 2007. So it's pretty much just this same artwork of the gold and silver reprinted for that 3-year period. And in terms of like price reference, obviously there is some nuance. Like I think there's some participation prizes that were super limited. And there's like very nuanced ways to tell the difference. But for the most part, as you go to a 2005 version of this card, it's more valuable than the 2006 for the silvers. And then the gold medals are just more valuable overall because they were more limited, obviously. And these were only handed out to the people who placed first place, within a game tournament at their local shops. So if you think about like where these cards are coming from, these cards are coming from people playing in a tournament at their local card shop in Japan in 2007. And then, they held on to it. They eventually just take care of it and they sell it years later. So like in that sense, like these are kind of historic pieces that they're coming from collectors or consumers. and kind of passing the line. And there's a good legacy for these cards. And yeah, I just have a huge pile here. I'm just going to go through real quick. This is the gold 2007. Here we have the silver 2006. Just go through super quick. And you can tell that 2006, 2007 have the Black Star promo logo in the bottom. And I think we'll find the one exception to that is right here. And this is what I was saying, that 2005 is the most valuable. And this is just the 2005 for reference. Here we have same artist. We have the copyright for 2005. So if you could just look at this, it's literally the same artwork. Exact same artwork for the two cards. Only difference is the copyright. But if you do notice, a 2005 doesn't have a Black Star promo stamp, which is, I guess, just another way of distinguishing it. But this is quite literally the first run of these victory medals. So yeah, just quite little, like a neat little thing. I think it's really cool to look at. And this is really, I think, where if you're going to start looking into these cards, look into these because they're the most basic and affordable. Then the next era, as I mentioned, was the DPT-P era, which was the Diamond and Pearl to Platinum era of Japanese promos. And there's kind of two specific victory medals. This is where they changed the artwork up. I only have the Arceus one here, which I personally love the Arceus one. I do want to make a video kind of specifically talking about these types of cards because the new Legend of Arceus game has been announced. And I think there's going to be hype going into 2022 for Arceus, kind of Arceus cameo cards, Arceus key cards, kind of like this. But here we have the gold medal. This same idea as these, awarded to participants at their local card shops or game stores that were running the campaign with the Pokemon Company. And if you look, it's a 2009 copyright, Black Star Promo 051 DP-P. Very limited from 2009. A really, really small window of participation allowed you to get this card. So if, like, just in terms of reference, like, that's pretty nuts. If you think how, in terms of reference, that's still a very small window to get these cards for what they cost. And this is just a good artwork of Arceus. What I like about this era too is they start animating the cards. So we have Arceus with the victory medal. And what I like here is it says in bold English. I think the fact that this card has English on it also has a lot of value to it. It says for the winner of the Pokemon card game. I don't like this card this also has a stamped version with the year and I might say winner. But the fact that in English, it's readable and accessible to a lot of the market, it says that this is a winner prize card. I think you can't go wrong with. So as I mentioned, love the fact that it says English, better artwork, relatively limited, and has a Pokemon that's going to be important in the upcoming months. And then this is the same idea. This is obviously the gold, which was the first place. And then silver was awarded, I think, to maybe second place. I'm not sure if third place also got it too. But yeah, silver medal. Same idea for the winner of the Pokemon card game. So we have a gold and silver medal card for local tournaments in this, from 11, 12 years ago in Japan. And the other version of the DPT-P promos for victory medals are this really nice Giratina one. I'm going to put an artwork up of both of them on the screen right now, of the gold and the silver. But same idea. They did the Giratina one first, kind of issuing the Platinum games, and then they did the Arceus one afterwards. The Giratina one, I think, is still relatively affordable. I don't have any yet. I probably am going to buy some very soon after this video comes out. But I do like both those cards just for the significance. And this is something like a little bit, I don't know. People don't seem to talk about this in videos very much. But I think like age of people do matter for collectibles. And if you think about the kids who got Diamond and Pearl when they were 7 or 8, which I think was the case for me, and even Platinum, I am now, like, I've gotten to the point where I'm now an adult and, I have my own money, I have income. So I would actually be looking at purchasing Pokemon cards from the era when I was a kid and to be able to purchase a piece of like kind of nostalgic history from when I was still very young and playing these games. There's like a lot of things that I think you have to be very conscious about when you're talking about the collectibles trade. And I think that is like a key factor. And the last era, as I mentioned, are the L-P, the Legend promos, I believe. And here we have kind of really what's taking off and pushing this market up, I believe, is this style of victory medal. They did a bronze, silver, and gold of this new updated Pikachu artwork. Super animated, lovely artwork. Beautiful backgrounds with the flowers. And this is, like, as I said, a key feature I like. It says for the winner in English, so some accessibility for, you know, a Western or English market to understand what the card is. Super nice card. And what I like about the L-P era was that they did like this gold and silver, because obviously the games were hard gold, soul silver. So they did a border that was both colors. But really nice artwork. This is 031 L-P. So same idea. I'm going to keep saying same idea because they were released in the same way. There was tournaments held at game stores and card shops, and the third place player would be awarded the Pikachu Bronze medals. The second place would be awarded the Pikachu Silver medals. Honestly, I kind of like the Pikachu Bronze medal artwork a little bit more. I like the pink background, but same idea, same concept. You just got second place, you got this. And then finally, the rarest of them is going to be the first place, because it was only awarded to, you know, the very top player at each tournament. And gold just does better in terms of, you know, how we think about it. Like the gold victory medal does better from 2007. The gold does better in 2009. And then in terms of L-P, if you're looking into Japanese, there's also a set of the 3 starters. You have Feraligatr, Meganium, and Typhlosion. I'll put the 3 pictures of them up, same with the Giratina. Those are still actually, those are very hard to come by. I rarely see those up for sale. And I think, you know, even getting any of those for like $100 is great. It's a starter Pokemon that's also, it's, you know, this one makes me smile because it's a starter Pokemon card that's also a tournament prize card. It's like, it's so many good things going for them. But I'm surprised that, like, I don't see more people hyping them up. I don't, like, maybe, as I said, this might just be like, you know, a lack of knowledge in the market, but I think those cards have so much potential that if you're looking to pick up anything, I would look at the Diamond and Pearl and LP stuff. That's going to be a little bit more expensive, but I think that has a lot of future potential. And if you want something a little bit safer, I think going for the earlier 2005 to 2007 victory medals is still a safe bet. As I said, there's a lot of hype in Pokemon right now. People are going to get further priced out of trophy cards. They're going to look for harder to come by stuff. You know, this is why I think a lot of promo cards have been doing so well. Limited promo cards from Japan are doing really good, especially Pokemon Center cards, is because they're just like something different. People don't really want to be buying the same Charizards from Evolutions. I think the people don't really want to be buying Champions Pack Charizards anymore. If you can spend less money and get something with more cultural, historical, and unique significance, I think you should really be looking into these types of cards. Before I cut this video, there's another thing that I wanted to kind of show off and get people's eyes on. It's going to be this Dragonite FB. It's 018DPT-P. This is in English as well. It's a league promo in English, but in Japan, it was released in a similar sense to the victory medals, but this is for, it becomes, in English, it's the Platinum Supreme Victors, that set. So in Japan, for the commemoration of the set, they released, you know, you go to your card store, and if you won, or a game shop or a Pokemon Center or whatever, you would participate in the tournament, and if you won at least one game, you would get this participation trophy. I just think this is a cool card because in a similar sense, it's a card that was awarded for winning, you know, a game within, you know, the Japanese Pokemon League. So yeah, very quick, just wanted to show this and cut it here. Thanks for watching.